Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building.
That's right. We're back at it again, ladies and gentlemen. Path of Designer, George JC, Mr. Media himself in the building.
Yep.
Lot to get into on today's show, man. A lot of topics on today's show. Because we got to look at this schedule as the Chicago Bears only favored in 7 of the 17 games. Are the Chicago Bears underrated or overhyped? Big question.
Big question.
Also, the Trey Hendrickson trade buzz seems to actually have a price. Now, Brad Biggs talked about this. I don't know why I was talking like that for so long. The Trey Hendrickson trade buzz seems to actually have a price. Now, as Brad Biggs talked about the potential of what Ryan Poles may be comfortable offering for Trey Hendrickson. The Chicago Bears fully focusing in on Arlington Heights. They say Chicago no more. The Arlington Heights Bears. And the Cubs won 3 at Wrigley. All that more episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. The date is 5/19/2025. 7:03 in the morning. And Jordan JC.
Yeah.
Screw the Cubs.
Fly that W. Fly that W.
It's so funny. My takeaway from the Crosstown Classic this year was literally just like completely different, because I was like, I feel like it shouldn't have been this competitive.
Hey, man.
It may say more about the Cubs than it does about the White Sox.
Hey. A win's a win.
I'm just saying.
Shut
You guys suck.
I love it.
Wait. I can't wait for the collapse. That's what I'm waiting for.
You
Hey,
know.
to this show. Love, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Appreciate you rocking with us yet again. George JC, how was the weekend, my boy?
Oh, weekend was great. The Crosstown Classic lived up to all my expectations. Had a night. I'm just saying, like I said, a win's a win. Go Cubs, go. Good time. Good vibes, baby. I'm on a high. I just came from the gym. I'm feeling good today. Meaty Monday.
No, a meaty Monday at the gym. This guy's out there getting a little morning lift. I was not. I did a lot of barbecuing yesterday, and I felt it this morning.
And you still didn't let a brother come on over. What did you make this time on the grill?
No steaks this time. No steaks. Did some Sam's Club. First off, I've invited you almost every time, and you never show up. Did some Sam's Club hot dogs, which surprisingly good. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know we was doing this.
You bought them thinking they were going to be bad?
Well, I mean, no, it's not a like, you can't F up a hot dog. If you F up a hot dog, you suck. But like, like it's like all beef hot dogs, and it's weird to talk about glizzies like this, but like they were thick. They were thicker hot dogs.
What was it? Never mind. I was going to say something crazy.
So we also had salmon, and we did what was
little fish. Did you put a little garnish or glaze on the fish?
Did you? We did a little garlic butter on top. A little garlic butter, nothing crazy. Then we did some soy sauce chicken. Some soy sauce
cooked a lot.
Chicken.
Lord,
okay. Hey, it was a good time. It was a good time.
All right. I'll be over next time.
I don't believe you. Let's talk about football here, George JC, because Brad Biggs dropped this article in the Chicago Tribune talking about the Bears and where they're favored at. The Bears are only favored in 7 of their 17 games this season, they are favored in 7 of their 8 home games. I'm sorry, 6 of their 8 home games.
Okay.
And they are only favored in 1 of their road games.
Jeez.
So as we go through this, they are favored opening up versus the Minnesota Vikings, 1.5-point favorite versus the Minnesota Vikings. Then they are a 4.5-point underdog versus the Lions week 2. They are a 3-point favorite versus the Cowboys, which if you're not a gambler, which I'm not either, but I have learned this, basically 3 and under just means you're the home team and we don't believe in either one of you. So pretty much the Bears
it's like a wash. Okay. All right.
Home team and every one of these games that they're like, we'll give them a shot. The Raiders in Vegas, like I said, that is the only 1.5-point favorite. You got the bye week. Commanders, we are a 4.5-point underdog versus the Commanders in Washington. We are a 7.5-point favorite versus the Saints, which that is insane. Basically, they said the Saints suck, which I guess they do. We are a 7-point underdog versus the Ravens, a 3-point underdog versus the Bengals, a 2.5-point underdog versus the Vikings in Minnesota, a 2.5-point favorite versus the Steelers in Chicago, a 7-point underdog versus the Eagles, 3.5-point underdog versus the Packers, 7-point favorite versus the Browns, 1.5-point underdog versus the Packers at home in Chicago. So they don't even believe we're going to beat them here. And then 3.5-point dog versus the Niners and a 1.5-point dog to finish out the season versus the Lions. Vegas does not believe the Chicago Bears are going to be a very good football team this season based on that. But what I will say is this. Are the Chicago Bears underrated here or overhyped based on the offseason, Jordan JC?
Overrated or overhyped? I'm going to put it in the middle because I feel like there's a I know. I'm playing it very
safe
cool.
there, JC. Jesus.
Underrated, overhyped. Fine. You know what? I'll go underrated. You know how I feel. I don't feel like the Bears are overhyped. I feel like they are underrated because it hasn't been proven yet. And so maybe a lot of people are trying to pump the brakes because a lot of the analysts and the media outlets last year said that the Bears were going to be one of the teams that broke out. And then what did we see? We saw a 5-win season. And they based it off the schedule, the strength and the weakness of the schedule. They based it off the roster, the new additions to the wide receiver core, Keenan Allen this, and Caleb Williams that, and superstar this, and so it's almost as if, okay, let's pump the brakes and kind of just give them the middle ground. So if you're saying that we're favored in 7 of the games, honestly, with this being a stronger schedule, a tougher schedule this year, I could see why a lot of people are saying that, but I still believe that the Bears will be better on the road. If you're telling me that there's only one game that they're favored in, and you mentioned it, was it the Steelers?
Vegas game.
It was Vegas?
Steelers game is in Chicago.
Oh, the Steelers game is in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, my fault. Okay. See, no. And I'm going to be honest with you. The other game they should definitely be favored in is the one at Lambeau Field. Because the best quarterback in the NFC North still goes there. I'm just letting you know he's undefeated, Jimmy Alpha. But my thing is, yes, underrated. Yes, I'm going to go that. I don't think they're overhyped in the least bit because they've gotten all the pieces. You see the way that they're coming together. I don't think that in the least bit the Chicago Bears will only win 7 games. I already told you what I think as far as the win total when we went over the predictions during the live. What did I have him at? What did I have him at?
3.
13-3. No, 13-4. I had him
13-4. Yes, that is how math works.
I had him 13-4.
I was impressed you found 4 losses.
Well, I kind of played around with it. I said the last 2 games of the season are going to be like rest period for the gearing up of the playoffs. I had them at 13-2.
The Bears are resting their team for the last 2 weeks of the season going into the playoffs because they're 13-2.
Yeah, it's going to be load management. They got to watch what they're doing. But no, the Bears are definitely going to be underrated this season, I think.
Listen, I I don't believe this is overhyped, and to say it's overhyped basically means that, like, you know, I think the Bears are going to be terrible this year. I don't think the Bears are going to be terrible, so I would lean more towards underrated, but I don't think it's a massive underrating in this because I don't think there's a bunch of games that flip the other way for you. I think the games that actually I probably did have majority of my wins in Chicago
at home. Yeah.
When I went through the win prediction, I gotta look back at that. But you know, looking at the games that I do think flip, the Bengals where the Bears are a 3-point favorite in Cincinnati, that's actually a surprising number for the Bengals because it's a 3-point favorite. Like I said, when you're a 3-point favorite, basically you're the home team. So it's not that Vegas is like, oh my God, this matters, but they think the home field advantage is going to create the biggest difference there for the team overall. So the fact that we're only a 3-point dog to the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm actually surprised by. And that's a game where I believe that the Chicago Bears can go in there and surprise people and win that game. I think that flips for you, and that's one that the Bears can get. That's one I've said that I think that the Bears can get. I think what was the other one we were a dog in? I think in Lambeau, I do have the Bears winning in Lambeau. I got them losing here, but I do have the Bears winning in Lambeau again, which essentially kind of the same conversation. You know, 3.5-point dog. Packers are at home. We'll see which team ends up showing up. I got the Packers beating us here. And then the 49ers game, I get it. They're setting that based on the 49ers, but what 49ers is there?
Yeah,
which 49ers are we getting in a 2025 season? Because I tell you what,
banged up.
I don't know if Christian McCaffrey's alive by week 17 of the season. I don't know if Brock Purdy is actually the Brock Purdy that deserved to get all of that money.
Yeah, he got that money, I'll tell you that.
Which is wild because it's kind of a steal if we're being real. I was sitting there, we were talking about it in the chat. I was like, you basically got paid him like as the 7th highest paid quarterback in football. It's kind of shocking with the accomplishments that this guy has. Like, he's been to multiple
you thought he was going
to
to break the mold again for
he's been to 2 Super Bowls. There's dudes who are making more money ahead of him that haven't been out of the second round of the playoffs, Dak Prescott.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Like, it's crazy, dog. Like
makes a lot of
steal.
sense.
Like,
Yeah. No, good point.
So it's one of those things. But again, I don't know what 49ers team that will be. You know, I even, you know, that last game versus the Lions, I think I have the Bears. I think I got the Bears winning that one, losing the first one, winning that one here in Chicago to finish out the season. Like, those are games that it's like, yes, the Bears are an underdog, but it's so close. I do think that it flips to where by the end of the season, the Bears may be favored in that. And listen, this is extremely early odds on this, but I do think that it's telling that Vegas essentially has the Bears as a 7.5 win team, where we do this every year, JC, which is why I think it's funny. Every year we go, Vegas, you're stupid. No one believes that they're that bad. You're an idiot, Vegas. And somehow by the end of the season, we're sitting there going, oh, I hate you, Vegas.
Yeah, they were right on point. Oh, boy.
Yeah, don't gamble with your heart.
Well, you better hope they're not on point this year. Again, I think that the Bears are going to go into the season. They're going to shock a lot of people, but it still has to be proven. This team on paper, from top to bottom, in coaching and the players, looks vastly improved. And it looks like it's going to be a special unit if everything that we see is coming together. And it comes together the way we think it will. You know, OTAs are coming up, I believe, soon. Yep. In a minute, and so we'll see how this team comes together. I think it's just a matter of kind of just waiting and see approach the pump the brakes on the excitement and the expectations. Again, even for me, like I told you how many wins realistically. I think 10 plus, but everybody's trying to at least see how this new look, this new regime kind of starts off first before they go guns blazing and say, you know, yeah, the Bears are going to be one of the top teams in the football.
Yeah, no, 100%. It is kind of all right, let's see. Because I think the big question is, right, when you look at, excuse me, when you look at the coaching matchups, right, as you go through the Chicago Bears schedule, is Ben Johnson the best coach? Well, we don't know. We don't know what kind of coach Ben Johnson is. We don't know what kind of coach Ben Johnson is going to be. We don't know how he's going to be when the pressure is on. We don't know what kind of head coach. We keep sitting here going, hey, if it's just common sense, he should win 4 more games. Does Ben Johnson have common sense?
He looks the part.
We thought Matt Eberflus did at one point. You know what I mean? So it's just, you got to see.
Well, maybe we did.
I think by year 2, we were sitting there and just like, oh, okay. Like, I kind of can see where they wanted to go in this direction. All right.
I think it was the beer.
And then by year 3, it was like, oh no, this is horrible.
Yeah, we got fooled by the beer.
Year 2, we won what? We won 8 games.
Yeah.
Year 2, we end up winning 8 games. So yeah, you were kind of feeling good. You were like, all right, let's take this into the next thing and see if we can make something happen out of this. This is gonna be fun. Oh no. Paulie G in the building. Paulie G back. First 2 games will be telling. We got to split at minimum. Can't be 0-2 in the division early on. Yeah. Then the other NFC matchups could be a coin flip. Yeah, I mean that is a great point. You know what I mean?
Man, you are starting off with the Vikings and the Lions.
Starting off with the Vikings and the Lions. And I'll tell you what, like if you get the Vikings game, I almost expect you get the Vikings game, opening game at home. I guess you shouldn't expect anything with this Bears team, especially like, are they going to get anything? But it is kind of I can see that being a good start for Ben Johnson and his Bears team. If you get week 2 in Detroit, it might be guns blazing. It might all of a sudden you might start seeing the lines change over a little bit, and you might start seeing adjustment because the big question about Detroit is, well, are they the same Detroit? Are they going to be the same team without Aaron Glenn over there? Aaron Glenn had that defense still competing, and everyone was dead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's incredibly different. Coming into this season. But we'll see. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Show love. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We got to keep this thing moving along. So we got a lot of topics. Before we get into talking about what a possible Trey Hendrickson trade could look like for the Chicago Bears and how the F are they going to clear money to make this work.
Find a way, Ryan.
We're going to take a listen into our sponsors over at Aura.
Ooh.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have 1 or 2 of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https://aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold.
Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. It's Jordan JC. I don't know if you know this or not, but we are
what's going on?
Over 100 in the show. Over 200 in the show.
Oh,
200. Good morning. 209 live viewers over on the YouTube side. Hit that like button, man. Only 38 likes on the video. Y'all
likes up.
Yeah, slacking a little bit this morning.
What's playing around? Wake up.
68 people over on Twitter, man. Good morning. Nothing wrong with a little off-season content. Shout out Bulls Daily with the over 200 in a chat.
200.
Appreciate the super chat there, Bulls Daily. As we get back into some of this Bears talk, man, because we were talking about the Bears being underrated or overhyped. I'll tell you what, overhyped this Chicago team moving forward, my boy. Oh, what a hype this Chicago team up moving forward. Adding Trey Hendrickson. Oh, super chat from Anthony Anderson. The Anthony Anderson.
No, Spice.
A little blackish in this mug. The O-line has been revamped. It will give Caleb more protection, even with leading the league in sacks. He still had 3,000-yard passing season, 20 touchdowns. I see him playing better with more wins. That's right. I agree with you, Anthony Anderson. 9 is more wins.
Thank you. 9 is more wins.
9 is more wins. 4,000-yard season. I'll take it. Trey Hendrickson conversation has been interesting around the Chicago Bears, and Brad Biggs was talking about, what could be something if the Bears were going to go out there and add Trey Hendrickson to this team. What could be the asking price? What he said was if the Bengals' asking price in a potential trade is a second-round pick and maybe a later round selection, he could see the Bears being more in on that, but he would still be surprised if the Bears made a move. Hendrickson turns 31 in December. He's angling for a third contract, which he certainly has earned 35 sacks over the last 2 seasons. But the list of players who get expensive third contracts and deliver value isn't a long one. But with the potential of going out and adding Trey Hendrickson, the one thing we've talked about with that Jordan JC is that, number one, it absolutely puts you over the top. Right. Mm-hmm. It goes from we're not worried about being underrated. We're talking overhyped. We're talking excitement. We're talking Super Bowl at the end.
All in. Yeah.
You're all in. Right.
Yeah.
But the big question has been to pay him. So for me, I understand late round capital. If it is a second round pick and maybe a later selection, I'm in on it. I'm in on making a move. There's no way you make that work without including some kind of player contract involved in that to send back to the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the only situation that's going to work for you. And what Biggsy goes on to say is it actually makes more sense to just stick with Dio Dangbo, who you spent a stupid amount of money on this offseason, giving him a 3-year, $48 million contract with $28.5 million fully guaranteed.
Here's my thing. I with Brad, I disagree with some of the points that he made, because one of the things that he mentioned that if the trade value is a little too steep, where they're asking for a first round pick back, then the Bears should not be interested. I totally disagree with that. Because if you're looking at the production, and I understand he's going into his age 31 season, I get all of that. Age is a concern. You just picked up a guard in Joe Thuney who has been durable for most of his career.
All of his career, just about.
Exactly. And so are you saying that you're basing this out of fear that if you were to provide him a hefty contract that he can't deliver? I understand that maybe there's a track record and there's a resume of many people who have probably gotten the bag the third time around and hasn't produced what they were producing when they were in the prime of their career. But you're talking about a guy who for the past 5 seasons since 2020 has been probably, honestly, the most elite at getting to the quarterback, total.
Yeah.
35 sacks in the last 2 seasons is nothing to sneeze at. It's almost as if he's getting better as he's gotten older, which by the years he has. And so instead of kind of basing this out of fear, I'm saying, hey, go all in. Now, are we a Trey Hendrickson away from making a push to the Super Bowl? I'm not going to go full meaty on this. I'm not going to say yes.
Well, you better be if you're trading for him.
Well, I put it like this. It would be better. Are we better than what we were when we got Khalil Mack? Are we in a better position to go for it all than when we got Khalil Mack? Yes. Yeah. I totally agree with that. And that team, everybody thought, oh, we're almost there. We're there. And what happened? Well, we were double doink away from probably making
I believe going to the Super Bowl. I've said that many a times.
That's what I'm saying. And
I think we was a double doink away. I watched the rest of the NFC playoffs mad, like, you all suck.
It was a horrible
playoff. None of you could have beaten the Bears defense.
Yeah. So
there was a goat in there that probably could have, but I think we had
there's a goat. Yeah, I know, but oh, Goaty Mahomes, I know, but my thing is,
not him. Oh, I guess he was in there too. We probably
Goaty Mahomes is there.
No,
I'm always
I
thinking
was
about
talking
that.
about Tom Brady.
Come on,
'Cause
Brady
Tom
with
Brady
Tampa.
went to the NFC,
Yeah.
buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. But my thing is you have a better team that's set up to possibly go even deeper. You don't play out of fear and think, oh well, we're not fully, there yet, and maybe we should kind of pump the brakes on a deal. Like, no, based off of everything we've seen this offseason, the Bears have really not even gone with half measures. They've gone all in on a lot of their moves. And so I think you again repeat that same process here. If Trey Hendrickson honestly is available, give him the money and take that chance. It would be a chance, but you're taking a good chance.
And for the people that are like, how are you going to pay Trey? That's the issue. And it's not me.
That is the issue.
It is the issue.
Yeah.
You're getting rid of somebody.
Oh, Coley Cole.
You're getting rid of somebody. You're getting rid of some of the players who, could be post June 1 cuts. You're moving on from guys like Ryan Bates. You're moving on from Trey. You're moving on from Cole. Probably in the trade. Like you're moving pieces. And I think that is the question mark, right? With what you would subtract from the team, is it still worth it to go get Trey Hendrickson? Most of that is going to be some depth. You're taking a shot on some depth that's going to be on the team, but you're going to have to move one of those big name contracts to go do it. It makes more sense than any to move Cole just because of how his contract is structured post June 1. You get to save some money off of the books. And that's really what it is. Are you a better team in that situation if you are moving on from Cole Kmet? Does he mean that much to this offense to get it done? Or is there a belief that Colston Loveland hits the ground running?
And another one of the strengths that we talked about when it came to Ryan Poles is that his understanding of the money and the payroll and everything is top tier, right? And so for me, you're looking at the window that you have with Caleb Williams still on his rookie contract as well, of getting as many good pieces around him until you probably have to pay him if he obviously pans out. If he's the guy, he's the quarterback that we've been praying for this entire franchise, then you would need to go all in these next 2 to 3 years and say, let's build around him and get those guys that will catapult or get this team into the next stratosphere of being one of the better teams in the entire league. And so having a Trey Hendrickson, despite his age, that would take you over the top, in my opinion. Now, again, that doesn't address, maybe having to go out and maybe replace a Jaquan down the line if he doesn't pan out with another safety. And, the Kevin Byard is getting older. Like, we'll address that later.
You may be doing that. You may be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Like if Jaquan Brisker does not have a healthy season this year, you may be moving on. You're more than likely moving on if we're looking at, now granted, Tevin Jenkins is not a Ryan Poles draft pick, but if we're looking at Ryan Poles' history with guys that have been consistently banged up, he usually don't keep them around. Justin, was that a bird in your house? Did anybody else hear that tweeting?
Yeah, I got to be honest. The birds are going nuts outside my apartment. I didn't know if you all heard that. They're
that was the
chirping like
first
crazy.
time I heard it. It sounded like he jumped on the mic like, yeah, trade that.
I honestly have had a bird fly through my apartment. I've had to close the window because they're making nests right on the perch of my balcony. I'm getting tired of it. Got to get that out of here. But anyway, excuse the birds. Excuse the birds on a Monday.
Hey, tweet.
They agree. Got the Windy City Birds out. That's jeez.
Trade him.
Is that the bird?
Trade.
All right. I hear you. Get out of here. Jeez.
It was so loud. I thought it was like in the room. Like, do you need to go check on that?
No, man. They're literally right outside my window.
Right. Wait for JC to nonchalantly stick his finger out the birdland on some Disney stuff.
Well, the new Snow White or what is it? Pocahontas? What is
God.
That
That was so unexpected. I don't even know what point I was making. Let's keep it moving. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think that Trey Hendrickson makes sense? Do you think that it makes sense for the Bears to go out and add a Hendrickson? Do you think that they could find a way to even get the money to do so? Or do you stand pat with what you have on the team already and move on and let's go into the season with what we have? The one thing I will say about Trey before moving on is you're adding Trey to a team that has Grady and Montez Sweat on it. What does that do for his career? How does that prolong their careers? Because who you double team?
Yes.
That's what I keep
Especially
asking.
with the interior. Yeah.
Who are you double teaming?
It would be. God, you all talking crazy now.
Bro, that was hilarious. Bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's official. The birds are part of the show.
Can't help it. He said, "Tweet."
Bro, the bird was so loud, bro. I thought he jumped on the mic for a quick second.
Jesus Christ.
Let's keep it moving as listen, the Chicago Bears have shifted. I said shifted.
S-H-I-F-T. All right.
Have shifted their focus completely to Arlington Heights. We heard that going into the weekend. Said over the last few months, is from Kevin Warren. Over the last few months, we've made a significant progress with the leaders in Arlington Heights and look forward to continue working with the state and local leaders on making a transformative economic development project for the region a reality. The team said in a statement to the Tribune on Friday. No surprise here that we're finally moving on to actually just going to Arlington Heights, which was the plan when Kevin Warren showed up here until, all of a sudden there was this want to stay in the city of Chicago, which I think here's the question. One, it doesn't matter because there's been no winning football around Chicago at all. So I think the Bears could play in my backyard and I wouldn't care if they were winning the games. You know what I mean? I could care less if you're winning week in and week out. But I think the bigger problem is that you were having losing football. But are you upset that it took this long to just get to the decision that it seemed like was the obvious one immediately, and maybe the only person in the room that didn't know it was the obvious one was Kevin Warren, who's not from Chicago, who's not from Illinois, who thought that he was going to make Illinois lawmakers work together?
I think it's good business, and it's good strategy on Kevin Warren's part. As the president, you don't just automatically jump at the first fish or the first thing that looks good. I think you kind of want it.
Really,
all of these
bird analogy here with the first fish. They go after the first fish.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, right. It's like I can't get away from it.
It's legal.
Subconsciously, the bird is in my hand. I think that it as a president, as a good business person, you're trying and like get these different cities to kind of go against each other, different towns to go against each other. War. Yeah, bidding war, and that's just smart. So my thing is this another trying to shake loose a little bit more money for Chicago to come back in and say, hey, no, let's come back this way, or is this the official like, hey, all right, we've made our choice, we're solid in just dealing with Arlington Heights now. And I'm fine with that. I don't like the thought of it being called the Arlington Heights Bears, though. Can we still keep the name of Chicago
Bears?
Nobody's sure it's going to be an AH on the T on the helmet now.
Dallas does not play in Dallas. Dallas actually plays in Arlington.
Well, all right. Well,
most teams don't play in the city. It was cool. It's a cool thing that all of our teams were in the city that that we live in, right? It's an anomaly. Like, I don't think there is another city that has that. But I want parking. I want to be able to walk to the stadium in the middle of winter and not have to wear my jacket like Minnesota fans. I want to be able to friggin', have an ability to get out of a game parking lot in under 7 hours. Like people,
I thought you were gonna say 7 minutes.
No, but people think outside of the city, like, oh, they just tailgate after the game. No, we tailgate after the game because you're not going anywhere. I might as well sit here and have 4 or 5 more beers before I gotta sit in this traffic anyway because we're not moving.
Might as well use your time. Make a few steaks. Yeah, get a few brewskis.
A
Yeah.
couple of steaks after. Like, I think that's the thing for me where it's like, I'm all about having a good fan experience, and Soldier Field is not a good fan experience.
It's not when you're not in the stadium already. my thing is the few times that I have been
Even
to the
stadium is just like if you're not sitting like front and center, it's like,
I will say this.
Interesting.
I will say this. I was high up. You know, I don't have the luxury of sitting all the way down. I was high up. Yeah. It's almost as if you're gonna fall. The I don't know, the angle of the seating and going down the step, it leans in. If you got like what is it called? If you got issues with heights and you're scared of heights, yeah, I wouldn't test that. But even then, like walking from where we parked all the way to the stadium, that was like a vacation. And so yes, I agree with the whole parking issue. And the image that they tried to throw out at the very beginning when he did it with the Reverend and then the city shit, like, oh man, look at how amazing this is, and look at where there was literally no parking area in the image. And I'm like, okay, well, but what's going to happen with that? You're creating all these other outside venues and look at the events that can go around the park and all of these wonderful things, but that's not what the fans want. Like, I do want something where I can get out of my car and be in the stadium within 10 minutes. That would be nice.
So,
that would be nice.
The only time parking is worth it is if you park at the at McCormick Place. And that's a 30-minute walk. And you literally just got to be like, getting my steps in today, baby.
Yeah. Or you got to pay the guys that what are those light up
the rickshaw
you got to pay the guys that's just right there waiting for you, and you paying $30 just to get to the dang stadium.
Yeah, I walk it.
You don't trust them. I did it once.
I don't trust
it once.
I just, what's to stop him from just taking a suspect left and now I'm kidnapped?
Hey buddy, I'll take it. You go down a lower whacker and nobody ever sees you again.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not chancing it, dog. I don't trust those guys. What are they doing out there?
They're trying to make a living, you know. Trying to get their kids through college.
Get a job. Get a real job.
Get a real job.
Can't be
That's
biking.
hilarious.
What does the bird say?
Tweet.
Yeah, he doesn't like it either. Yeah.
Isn't that fair? Everybody's fair over there. Tweet. Tweet. Bird in the hand, better than two in the bush, Jordan JC.
Don't you start with no bird puns now. Don't you start.
What? That was the birds, though. That's what they are. That's what they are.
This is madness.
I see you. Mr. Eagle Eye over here.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's phenomenal. I love it.
Close my dang blinds.
They're still watching.
Yeah.
Always watching, JC.
Always watching.
Let's finish it off here, man. Let us know how you guys feel about the Bears actually focusing in on Arlington Heights. Is it something that you even care about at this point? For me, I think that's honestly, it's like pick a spot and go.
Just start.
Just go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care where you play football. The one thing that I do find funny, and this was Tyson Bajan was on Recap with Cap and Ryan McGuffey. I think he was on there with.
Oh yeah. Is that who I thought PCA was?
He was doing. You did think it was PCA. I was like, oh, just going full races there, huh, Jordan JC? All white guys look alike. Is that what
he had a shave look. I usually see Bajan with the flowy hair. I didn't know he got a haircut.
Cutting the hair is wild. It's weird. I'm not a fan of it. I miss sunshine. But no, man. Like seeing Tyson on there, he had me dying laughing because he was like complaining about a 4,000-yard passer. You go out there and try and throw the football in that wind. And I just like hearing that had me cracking up. And it was even more reason where it was like, put a dome on the thing, dog.
Yeah.
He's like, no, there's nothing like trying to throw a football off of that Lake Michigan wind. There's nothing like it in the world. It's like 4,000-yard passer. Y'all complaining. You go throw the football out. Like
winds, gusts, and all over the place.
The only problem with all of that is always, though, everybody else seemed to be able to come here and throw the football.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers had no problems. Brett Favre had no problems.
No, dotting it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get sick of it.
What about Jalen Hurts, big Eagles guy? Keeping the birds away.
Shut up.
I like
Nobody
Matt
asked you
Ryan
guys
for the
opinion.
Cardinals. Big Cardinal guy. Big Cardinal fans out here.
How did the birds get mics? Can't
Tweet,
afford them. Shit.
How did the birds get mics?
Yeah,
It's
we
like
can't
the
afford
Brian-
extra
It's
mics
like
for
the
a
Deion
bird.
Sanders pigeons outside your window. That's like from the direct TV commercial.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
Let's keep this thing moving along. Let's finish it out with this, Jordan JC. I got to get some time to it because
That's right. Come on.
it did happen this weekend. It was
Yeah.
I tell you what. Had a couple takeaways from the Crosstown Classic, my boy.
Okay. All right.
Number one, I said it at the top of the show. There's no reason that it should have been like one competitive inning versus these White Sox, which makes me feel a little bit better about my White Sox. Competitive. Most of those games, it was like, okay, competitive team. There it is. That's the one. That's it. There it is. It's over. So I felt okay coming out of this. We got a young team. We're figuring it out. We're Venable. I mean, cut some people out. I like it. I like the direction we're heading. Let's try and get some wins off of it. My big takeaway from this weekend, Jordan JC, PCA is going to screw y'all on Kyle Tucker. He's so good.
His numbers are up
the
there.
White Sox single-handedly this week.
10 to 8. 10 to 8.
Outscored the White Sox single-handedly this week.
I believe it's 10 to 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Made some of the best catches I've seen. Every time you needed him to come through, he came through.
Yeah.
As a baseball fan, I think he's a phenomenal player. And he will be the reason he will be the reason you will not pay Kyle Tucker.
I love the backdoor compliment. It's like a negative positive. PCA is great.
It is your ownership and your management and everything that, like, you've come into 4 seasons in a row without a bullpen and just been like, let's see how this works.
I'm not sure what's going on with the bullpen. It's like it's there and it's not, but that has kind of lost us some games. But just specifically talking about the last 3, it was a very good start. I would say as far as competitiveness, the White Sox, you can see their potential. Outside of Luis Robert Jr., I do like, I believe it's Chase Meredith,
Meredith.
Yeah, I like that guy. I like Andrew Vaughn too. I think there's some really nice pieces. You don't like Vaughn?
Nah, you can have Vaughn.
That's some pop.
I'll tell you Vaughn on a I don't even know what to tell you about that.
No, but I mean, there are some pieces outside of Robert, obviously, that you can see the potential of this team. But it clearly the two teams are going in different directions right now. As I've said before, obviously I am a Cubs fan, but I'm a Chicago sports guy, and so I can see how both teams are performing, and I can be honest with it. The White Sox, they have the potential to get back on track very soon. The Cubs, they look like a team that could be going for it all. In fact, I think they will be going for it all. I think that because of some of the injuries, they got a few setbacks. You mentioned the bullpen. Clearly, there needs to be an upgrade there. Presley hasn't worked out as our closer like I thought he would. I really like them to get pitchers that can throw upwards of 95 to 100 miles an hour. That would be nice. I'm tired of the pitchers where they got to make sure that they dot the corners. Oh, yeah, dot them right. The Greg Maddixes of the world. Like, come on. Greg Maddux was a beast in his own right, but I'm tired of the Greg Maddux type pitchers. Let's get some speed on it. Let's get some more Paul Skeens in the building. What do you got?
The Andrew Vaughn and Patrick Williams are the same dude. That is facts. That is 100% fact.
That is
listen, I think the only issue that I have with the Cubs, is that this is every year. You bring in a hot free agent name. You think that fixes all of the problems. You start off the season hot. The bats cool off. The pitching doesn't maintain. And then you're sitting at the end of the year going, how the heck did we miss the playoffs again? Like I've been telling y'all this all year. And last year, we didn't talk enough baseball for it to actually matter. But like all season, I'm like, it's going to fall apart. It's going to fall apart. Guess what happened last 2 months of the season? It fell apart. And now that it's hot again, and I think this is the thing that does irritate me about Cubs fans. Every year when it gets hot in the beginning, y'all forget why it fell apart.
Oh, I don't.
And there's like this belief that like, it's not going to happen this time. It's coming. Yeah. You keep running back the same situation and going, why did we hit the wall again? I don't know what's happening right now.
Well, I know that there's who's the guy that just came
is better. Your starting
starting pitching is great. I think when we get Schulte Imanaga back from injury, you'll do that. And then Ian Happ has to come back as well, and I believe he's a better opening, a better hitter or contact. He's a little bit more patient than PCA. PCA seems to me like he's more of like the power type hitter right now. He's got a lot more pop than I thought he actually would, and so having Ian back in that lineup, that first batter would do wonders, I think. But ultimately, like the call up with Cade Horton, like I really love his potential. But man, if you got to bring him in as a relief pitcher rather than starting him, maybe that's the way to go, because you really got to get some better, more reliable relief pitchers. There's just inconsistency up and down with those guys. Hodge, nice stuff, great stuff, but he gets taken advantage of many times. So man, it has to happen. There has to be something that Jed can do to kind of put the cherry on top with this. Otherwise, yes, I do believe that we'll have the same old tune by the end of this season. Hopefully, we'll see. I think the only team that's kind of like competing with us right now is the Cardinals. That kind of just came out of nowhere. They've had a really they've been hot. They've been hot.
They won 12 of their last 13.
Yeah, they have been hot. They just lost the other day. So I think we got 2-game lead in the division as of right now, but they've been cooking before that loss. So outside of that, I don't see too much of a competition. Everybody else has kind of had a down year. So we'll see. We will see.
I'll tell you who's having a solid year here. Let's not say everybody's having a down year. My Los Angeles Dodgers, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's my National League team this year.
Dodgers been decent.
That's my NL team. Oh, 29-18. We're 11 games above 500, my boy. Come on now.
Ain't that the same record as the Cubs? Wait a minute. Wait, hold on.
What the Cubs sitting at right now? What the Cubs sitting at after a little victory?
Dodgers aren't in first place right now. You tell me.
28-19 for the Chicago Cubs. That's where you sit right now.
28-19. That's right.
Dodgers are in first place in the NL West.
God dang it! I thought it was
that's right. Now the Mets are in first place. Well, no, I think Dodgers will be tied with the Mets, right? They both got to be 29-18.
Let me just. Oh yes, the Dodgers are actually in first place over the Padres and the Giants. You're right. 29-18. You're right. All right.
I see.
Okay.
You had a nice little season series.
By the way, we won 4-3 in the series. All right.
Can you do it in the playoffs? Can you get to the playoffs? Can you make it to the playoffs? Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Enjoy, Jason, before we get out of here. We are over 300 in the show. Over 400 in the show. 400. There we go. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Hey, man, we got tweet. Right? No, that was the wrong one.
Soo Young's back again. We got 2 Soo Youngs.
Hey, they accidentally hit a Soo Young, dog. Throw me some seed, JC. Throw me some bird seed. You gotta say bird seed. That was a crazy pause.
Yeah, I was about to say, I got some seeds for you, birds.
Throw me some bird seed there, JC. Come on, man. You're always cooking steaks. Steak bites. Steak salmon. Tweet.
What are you, Bubba off of Forrest Gump now? Shrimp, chicken shrimp.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love as always, man. Like and subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC. It's your boy, President Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.
Panko shrimp. Sushi shrimp. Jesus.
Oh God, the birds are after you.
I gotta get my landlord.
Actually coming for you.
No, I actually gotta get my landlord to fix my what is it that you put in the window to keep out the dang bugs and stuff.
A screen?
The screen. Yeah, I don't have a screen. I gotta keep my window closed all days, all the doggone times of the day because I ain't got a screen. Jeez. Dang birds.
Just let us in, JC. Come on, man. We can share this space.
You want to pay? You can pay half on rent. I'll let you in anytime.
Hey, I ain't got all the worms you need.
No, brother.
Tweet. Tweet, tweet.
No, brother.
Stop!